At a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia, duly called and held on the 11th day of June, 2012, at 7:30 p.m. in the Trustees' Room, second floor, Village Hall, Fredonia, New York, and public notice of the time and place of this meeting has been given to the news media and conspicuously posted in one or more designated public locations in accordance to Section 104 of the Open Meetings Law.
You're going to take that, right, Brown?
Whereas members of this board present at this meeting have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees, regular meeting of May 29th, 2012, now therefore be it resolved, this board approves the minutes as entered into the official minutes, and be it further resolved, that the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Reports.
We have two reports tonight. The Police Department report for the month of May 2012. There were 762 incidences. Arrests reported with 48, vehicle and traffic 36, and 32 parking tickets. Second report is from the Village Justice Report for the month of May. Total fees and surcharges and parking tickets of $21,200.50. Total cases 261, of which 52 criminal cases, 113 vehicle and traffic, 62 village ordinances, civil cases 9, and ABC laws 25. That's it for reports.
Correspondence.
Correspondence was received from the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department advising the board that they held their annual meeting and approved the attached list of expected duties and operations for the coming year. Correspondence was also received from Tom Everson requesting installation of a historic marker in the Barker Common near the site of the information booth. Third correspondence is a letter of resignation received from Lucy Saley, account clerk typist, resigning her position effective June 29, 2012 for the purpose of retirement.
Be it resolved that the resignation of Lucy Saley, account clerk typist, is hereby accepted effective June 29, 2012 for the purpose of retirement. And the mayor is hereby authorized to write a letter to Mrs. Saley thanking her for her 32 years of service to the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
I'd like to say thank you to Lucy for a great career with the Village of Fredonia, and good luck with your retirement. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed.
A letter of resignation was received from Barbara Vallone, account clerk typist, resigning her position effective June 29, 2012 for the purpose of retirement.
Be it resolved that the resignation of Barbara Malone, account clerk typist, is hereby accepted effective June 29, 2012 for the purpose of retirement, and the mayor is hereby authorized to write a letter to Mrs. Malone thanking her for her 30 years of service to the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
Again, thank you, Barbara, for an outstanding career with the Village of Fredonia. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Correspondence dated June 4th, 2012 was received from Time Warner Cable notifying the village that agreements with certain programmers are due to expire soon and may be required to cease carriage of one or more of the services in the near future.
Now we come to the public portion, where anyone that would like to address this board can address it. Would anybody like to speak to the board at this time? Seeing no one. We'll move on to resolutions.
Be it resolved that the regular and overtime payrolls of the various village departments and bills approved by the Finance Committee and set forth in Abstract 430 is hereby approved and directed paid.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that the schedule of meetings for the Board of Trustees of the Village of Fredonia for the period of July 2012 through December 2012 as set forth and attached to these minutes is hereby approved, and be it further resolved that the village clerk is hereby authorized to publish said notice in the Observer and to mail a copy of said schedule to WPOE Radio and Jamestown Post Journal and the Buffalo News.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Whereas the Village of Fredonia, as an owner of a large-size Class C high-hazard dam, which is greater than 40 feet in height, must submit to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and Engineering Assessment as required by 6 NYCRR subpart 673.13, and whereas O'Brien and Gear Engineers with officers at East Norton, PA 19401 has submitted to the village a proposal dated February 24th, 2012 to perform an engineering assessment of the village of Fredonia Reservoir Dam, NYSD CID number 003-1102, and whereas the engineering assessment shall consist of the following: a hazard classification evaluation, a complete safety inspection including a visual inspection of the dam and its appendices, and a review of available records, an evaluation of the dam's spillway capacity, an evaluation of the dam's substructural stability, an evaluation of the dam's outlet works reservoir drain capacity, a review of the dam's emergency action plan, a conclusion of whether the dam is in conformance with the current dam regulations and safety guidance, and whereas O'Brien and Gear engineers propose to complete certain tasks necessary to complete the above engineering assessment, which tasks are more fully set forth in its said February 24th, 2012 proposal, a copy of which is attached to this resolution for a cost not to exceed $190,000, and be it further resolved that said proposal is hereby approved subject to the requirement that O'Brien and Gear include the Village of Fredonia as an additional insured and all subcontracts with liability limits as recommended by the village insurance agent, and identification and hold harmless agreements from all subcontractors and such other provisions of the village attorney feels necessary to protect the interests of the Village of Fredonia. And be it further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign a said proposal on behalf of the Village of Fredonia, a cost not to exceed $190,000, with the understanding that a mutual agreeable completion date for the service be granted upon as soon as possible, which is also acceptable to NYSDEC.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Passed.
Be it resolved that the training request of Police Chief Riley Myers to attend the New York State Association of Chiefs of Police Training Conference in Alexandria Bay, New York from July 29th through August 1st, 2012 is hereby approved at a cost not to exceed $900.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Whereas Attorney Peter D. Clark has requested on behalf of his client, Akarachi Properties LLC, that the car wash sign at 264 East Main Street, at the corner of East Main Street and Clinton Street, recorded in the Library 2666 of Deeds at page 684, be permitted to remain in its present location, although it encroaches upon the village street right-of-way for Clinton Street upon the conditions set forth below. And whereas the village code enforcement officer, Mr. Monaco, has inspected the sign and its location and finds that the location of the sign does not presently create any problems for the village. Now therefore be it resolved that the village issue a revocable permit to allow the sign to remain in its location, which permit shall provide, however, that the village may revoke the permit at any time should the village determine that the sign interferes with the use of the street right-of-way for any public purposes, that is vehicle or pedestrian traffic, water or sewer purposes, drainage, widening of the street, etc., or the sign interferes with any village water or sewer line or easement, or the sign is in such unsafe condition that the village determines it should be removed from the street right-of-way. Upon revocation of the permit, the sign, including entire structure, shall be promptly removed by the owner at the owner's expense so that there is no interference, and be it further resolved that the permit also contain provision that the owner make the necessary improvements to sign within 45 days from the date of the permit so that it is structurally sound to the satisfaction of the village code enforcement officer, or the permit will be revoked and the owner shall promptly relocate the sign off the village street right-of-way so that it does not interfere or encroach upon any public property. And be it further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign a revocable permit with the above conditions, which permit shall be in form and content satisfactory to the village attorney, who may add other provisions he determines necessary to protect the interest of the village, and which permit shall also be signed by the owner, Akarachi Properties LLC, and also Armac Inc., owner of the car wash at 2 Clinton Street, adjoining 264 East Main Street, and be recorded in the Chautauqua County Clerk's office.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Whereas Police Officer Ben Kravitz was hired as a part-time police officer on January 7, 2008, and moved to full-time status on October 24, 2011, and thus worked continuously for the Village of Fredonia in the Police Department, and whereas the Police Chief has recommended that Officer Kravitz be removed from probationary status to permanent full-time police officer status, Now therefore be it resolved that Officer Kravitz is hereby appointed to the position of permanent full-time police officer for the Village of Fredonia, is considered to have sufficiently completed his probationary status, and this appointment shall take effect June 11th, 2012.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Now, that's everything we have in front of us right now.
Sweet.
Right. Now, if we had Trustee Tommy Brown here right now, do you know what he would say? Anybody know what Tommy Brown would say?
Adjourned.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.
Do we have a second?
Do we, yeah. Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.